Fight for Adam Kownacki and Eren Demirezen.
Well, Kownacki, as we look at the numbers, surprised many people by coming in at 251 pounds. Now that's 7 pounds less than the last fight he had and 14 less than the previous one. Both, of course, those losses to Helenius. We'll see if this weight loss ends up helping him.
With the official introductions, here once again is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, from Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, Premier Boxing Champions presents our heavyweight attraction in the ring. Once again, brought to you by TGB Promotions, DSG Promotions, and Showtime. Introducing our three judges, scoring from ringside. From New Jersey, Mark Constantino. From Massachusetts, Martha Tremblay. And from New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Introducing a referee in charge, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Eric Dolly. All right, fans, here we go with our co-main event of the evening. Heavyweights in the ring. We're scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with black trim, originally from Balıkesir, Turkey, now residing in Hamburg, Germany. He weighed in at 262 3/4 pounds with a record of 16 wins and 1 loss. He has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former Olympian and current heavyweight contender known as the Iceman. Introducing Eren Demirezen. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Entering the ring wearing white trunks with red trim, originally from Warsaw, Poland, now hailing from Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 251 1/4 pounds with a record of 20 wins, 2 losses. He has 15 wins, coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the popular all-action heavyweight world contender, introducing the baby-faced assassin, Adam Kownacki. Once again, the referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Eric Dolly.
Come on, coach. Boxer. Okay, gentlemen, you already know the rules. Let me remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you. Thank you.
Referee Eric Dolly has been a pro ref for 8 years, working his 337th professional fight. How important is this fight to Adam Kownacki? He said, and I quote, "If I don't win this fight, I lose it all." Close quote. Bell in round 1, Demirezen looking for his 6th straight win. And they come out. Well, there's the jab right away. And Kownacki putting together a nice combination to the body. And hey, he's staying true to his word thus far with that jab.
They both are volume punchers. They throw in the mid-60s, well over the heavyweight average, and we're already seeing that. They're throwing legs.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a reason why Kownacki is favored here. I mean, not just because he lives here in New York, but this is an exciting fighter. He comes to fight, he comes to throw punches, and he's never in a bad fight.
It's interesting you say that. He's favored by the fans, and yet the last odds had Demirezen as a slight favorite in this fight, believe it or not. And that's again because of what happened to Kownacki in his last 2 fights, but he is putting it on Demirezen and off to an entertaining start here. Let's not forget, the last time Kownacki won a fight against Chris Arreola, August 2019, they combined to smash a bunch of all-time show stats heavyweight records.
Yeah, they threw, what, over 2,000 punches in that fight. And this first round is kind of what we expected.
Yeah.
Kownacki having tremendous success with these combinations. Remember, though, he did that in the first fight against Helenius for the first 3 rounds.
In fact, Kownacki says tonight he wants to break his own record for punches thrown. He shares the record with Dillian White for most punches thrown around. Guys, get this, 141 at heavyweight. We're not talking Brandon Figueroa here.
No.
Now, you talked about it now, his last fight against Helenius, obviously doing this. But, you know, you got to understand that Helenius is much bigger guy, longer distance. And this guy, that Demirezen, I mean,
similar dimensions.
But he's fighting a good fight right now, Kownacki, throwing great combinations and finishing off with the body.
Sticking to Keith Trimble's playbook, and there's that combination from Demirezen again. An Olympian from Turkey. Both fighters have designs on becoming the first heavyweight champion from their respective country. Kownacki has 15 knockouts. Demirezen has 12. There's a right uppercut, left hand put together by Demirezen, but then Kownacki comes back targeting the body and then backed up thanks to the jab from Demirezen, but Kownacki continues. Well, guess what, guys? Kownacki has already thrown 115 punches and counting in round numero uno.
Demirezen's responding.
128 punches for Kownacki, 71 for Demirezen in round one.
Well, look at what these men need to do. For Kownacki, I said not a frenetic start. Guess what? It was that, and it worked for him. I thought he would take a little more time. Use the uppercut on the inside. He didn't get to use that one as much as he wanted, but we'll see that. And keep the left up. There were some right hands that got in from Demirezen, but not that many. All in all, a great round at the beginning for Kownacki. As for Demirezen, the jab is important to him. He needs to use it. He did throw a bunch in round one. We'll see more. No wide punches. Guess what? He did keep his punches a little straighter, and the straight right hand, which he did land several times, could be a very important weapon for him against Kownacki.
All right, let's see what they have in store for round number two. How do you top 129 punches, Mr. Abner Mares?
Yeah, you don't. You just keep going. I mean, he might top that in this second round. I mean, let's talk about the weight loss for Kownacki. I think that helps him out as far as the stamina as well. Better prepared, and he knows what this fight means. Getting this win tonight. You know,
Demirezen had an 8-week training camp. He trained in both Turkey and Germany, and he thinks he's really prepared for this fight. And now there's the uppercut from Demirezen on the inside. He's actually used that punch a little bit better early. And we'll have to see how this plays out. Will he start being able to get through? There he does with the right hand.
Kownacki teeing off on Demirezen.
And yet,
wow, look at the body shot.
It's a pretty big edge, isn't it?
A white wash as Kownacki continues to walk down Demirezen, and Demirezen comes back with a cuffing right hand left, uppercut right by Demirezen. He continues to fight back.
And here's something important. Demirezen has never been down in a fight, so we'll see. And he's getting hit with everything in this first couple rounds.
Demirezen has landed nice uppercuts. He's gotten shots in, but it's Kownacki's volume punching that is bothering Demirezen right now.
Well, this is vintage Adam Kownacki.
And this is why the fans come out in droves anytime he fights in Brooklyn. He's 9-1 here at Barclays. And on cue, the chant of Kownacki. Looking to once again put the KO in his surname under just over a minute left here in the second.
Now, there's a strong jab by Demirezen. He needs to continue to do that, and then he's got to straighten the right hand coming behind it. And there it was.
You're right, Alan. That's how you stop the momentum, the volume punching from Kownacki with the jab. But, I mean, it's easier said than done. This is a man that throws a lot of punches. He doesn't stop.
You know, when you have defensive flaws and you paid dearly for them like Kownacki has had, getting stopped twice, it can be very difficult to again become the fighter you once were. He's showing early on that, yeah, you can go home again.
He is, but again,
and a different style fighter.
He did it, but he did it for the first few rounds against Helenius the first time he was caught. Now, I'm not trying to throw away.
No, I understand, exactly.
Yeah, because guess what?
It's a different style fighter, too.
Yeah, he is doing a great job, Kownacki.
Yeah, but again, Demirezen doesn't have the reach.
And different style, but Demirezen's right in front of him, throwing back punches. Fans wanted a fistic firefight there, getting it. Let's go to Jim Gray. All right, Jim, thank you so very much as we begin round 3 of what has been an entertaining scrap between Adam Kownacki and Ali Eren Demirezen at heavyweight. They are standing toe-to-toe. And while neither is really known for the concussive power, they continue to deliver punches in bunches, especially Kownacki.
A tactical error by Demirezen. He should be giving himself enough distance to throw the jab and the straight right hand. He's laying on the inside with Kownacki.
That's that right uppercut, left hook combination effective for Demirezen.
And how about this? We're going to look at the power punches.
Wow.
51% for Kownacki. That's, really something when you land 51%.
And of course, Abner, as we talked about tape, it's also helpful when you have a fighter who will be standing in front of you, a little flat-footed, and there is a target, but Kownacki taking advantage of it.
And again, it's not that Demirezen is doing anything wrong. He's standing his ground. He's landing good shots, but it's the volume punching that Kownacki has. There's 2 punches that Demirezen lands good, but guess what? Kownacki comes back with 5 punches on top of that. You can't beat that.
Demirezen curls that right hand behind the high guard of Kownacki. There's a nice, again, that right uppercut, left hook combination has been effective for Demirezen.
So he did something nice there. He landed 1-2 shots, he took a step back. Didn't give Kownacki the opportunity to come back with anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When he gives himself punching room, Demirezen can land a jab and a straight right.
And Demirezen having one of his strongest rounds here in terms of output and the ability to start to mark up the face of Adam Kownacki.
Well, shoot, he got blitzed for those first couple rounds.
And there's jab followed by the left hook by Kownacki. And now in the final minute, Kownacki trying to turn up the pressure. Right hand, left hook from Demirezen.
And Kownacki changing it up. He's boxing now.
For the first time, though, in this fight, Demirezen is throwing more punches than Kownacki. He's got 10 more punches in this round.
And that uppercut on the inside has been effective. Then that uppercut, right hand combination, Demirezen scores upstairs. Under 30 seconds left in what has been the best round of the fight for Ali Eren Demirezen, looking for a 6th straight win, coming off back-to-back wins over former heavyweight title challengers Kevin Johnson and Gerald Washington. Wow, good combination again upstairs. Demirezen having himself a hell of a round here in round number 3. Proving to be a Turkish delight.
Wow, we've had a little excitement tonight all around, haven't we?
Why at the end do we need to do that? Why are we doing that at the end? Why? No reason for that with your hands down right in front of them at the end like that. None whatsoever. You have a great round and then you do stupid shit. Stop doing that. Come on. Breathe.
Keith Trimble giving
didn't mince his words.
An earful. Here we'll look back early in the round. Kownacki throwing that really nice left hook, but it was a round in which Demirezen started to kind of take control of things, and the uppercut has been a big weapon for him, and there's a straight right that we talked about at the beginning of the fight that could be effective for him.
Numbers don't necessarily tell the whole story. They're meant to be a barometer, and in round at number 3, Demirezen credited with landing 90 punches, the most for him in the fight. Kownacki, 79, the fewest for him in the fight. This is round number 4, scheduled for 10. Kownacki trying to salvage his career after back-to-back stoppage defeats to Robert Helenius, and Demirezen wants to become a player at heavyweight.
Yeah, Demirezen starting off the round really well, landing already 4 uppercuts, I counted.
And there's a vicious combination, popping the head back of Kownacki. And another combination, Demirezen beginning to find a stationary target. Kownacki trying to come back.
And this demonstrates what happened in the last round. Now, power punches are everything other than a jab. And Demirezen with the advantage. We talked at the beginning about Kownacki keeping his left hand up, hits low, and that's why those right hands are getting in front by Demirezen.
Yeah, we also talked about that stamina that Kownacki has to keep on.
Came in much better shape than any of his previous 2 fights. Put in the work with Keith Trimble. We've seen some signs of it, but Trimble was not happy after what transpired in the 3rd, and now Kownacki beginning to put together his punches, going to the body as well with that left hook to the liver. There's the jab, but Demirezen stalks him.
Yeah, an important thing to say, with these heavyweights, losing a lot of weight doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, they're coming in strong and putting on muscle. You know, sometimes you want to come in heavy. Again, the stamina is it's what you need.
Good point.
Kownacki has done a decent job of keeping his right hand up by his chin, which has thwarted some of the left hooks from Demirezen, but they are landing shots upstairs, standing within range of each other. Under a minute left in the 4th. Center of the ring.
When Demirezen uses his jab, he's a whole different fighter in this fight. When he doesn't, that's when Kownacki, who throws those nice combinations, can get through to him, and he's doing it now.
There, exactly. When Demirezen does that, 1, 2, 3 steps back, doesn't get Kownacki the opportunity to land anything. Is when he's more effective.
Final half minute of the 4th.
Especially when Demirezen jabs.
Yes.
And there it is.
And then the right came behind
1-2
it.
from Demirezen. Another jab from Demirezen.
This is a heck of a fight. This is so much fun. This is what we kind of thought could happen.
And Demirezen closing in on 100 punches in a round. 10 seconds. And for the 2nd consecutive round, Demirezen outthrows Kownacki, but they land the equal amount of punches. What a battle we are seeing here. And a man who did some sparring with a man we will see in the main event, Danny Garcia, fellow Philly native, Mr. Stephen Coolboy, Steph Fulton, who is the unified super bantamweight champion. We saw him beat Danny Roman on Showtime Championship Boxing, and a man who was continuing to get better and better. One of the best performances of his career against Roman.
Looking back, we'll see on the inside, there's that uppercut and the right hand. That's been the combination by Demirezen that has done a lot of damage. And then Kownacki coming back with that. That was one of the best right hands he's actually thrown in the fight. And then at the end of the round, Demirezen, who threw over 100 punches in this round, that's the jab. And this is the ticket. If Demirezen wants to win this fight, that combination is the one he needs to throw.
Back up.
Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Round number 5, scheduled for 10 at heavyweight. And Demirezen has Kownacki along the ropes, delivers a combination before taking a step back, then fires off the jab. Now Kownacki leads with the jab before going downstairs, and now Kownacki feeds a right uppercut, right hand combination.
And you know, Kownacki told us his jab was vital in this fight.
Yes.
Guess what? He's thrown 185 and landed 44. So he's been effective with that when he does it.
And a little strange in this 5th round. Kownacki started off by backing up, going straight to the ropes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's a sign of getting a little fatigue. Might be.
Yeah, could be.
Oh, good combination lands for Demirezen upstairs.
And a reminder, we see Demirezen landing his power punches. He isn't a huge puncher. He had 10 knockouts to start off his career, but since then has only had 2 in his last 6 wins.
A war of attrition, trying to break each other down, trying to break their souls here in round number 5 as we close in on the midpoint of this barn burner between Demirezen And Kownacki goes to the body, then sweeping left hook upstairs. The jab, counter right hand lands for Demirezen upstairs. Demirezen picking up the pace here.
Yeah, Kownacki he's got to pick his punches a little bit better because he is throwing a lot, but he's missing too much. That could tire him out.
Left hook lands upstairs for Kownacki, misses with that sweeping left hook.
And you know, this fight is not a brawl. It's being fought technically well by both men.
Good point, Al. And of course, you got an Olympian in Demirezen and Adam Kownacki, who we talked about with his trainer. The fact that he had to. The one thing maybe lacking a bit the footwork as he gets his head popped back again with that stiff jab. Another jab from Demirezen. Right uppercut on the inside from the Turkish fighter.
Those straight punches from a distance that Demirezen is landing is quite something. He's doing some damage.
That's the key to this. And again, he's out-throwing Kownacki in terms of the number in this round.
He's been doing it since round...
Let's see, third
or fourth. It's been Demirezen turning the tide in terms of output. And it was already high. 30 seconds left in the first half of this 10-round heavyweight scrap.
Now, Adam needs to, Kownacki needs to, there we go, the body. He got to invest a little bit more in the body.
Through the first half of this 10-round heavyweight affair, they are closing in over 900 punches already thrown. Your Denny Zugas in attendance, gamely put up a fight against Errol Spence Jr. in April. Of course, sent Manny Pacquiao into retirement less than a year ago. And he is watching here at Barclays as the boxing luminaries are out. The educated and passionate fans of Brooklyn also out in full force tonight.
You're good. He's tired. Breathe. Let's go, Ali, breathe. You know that he's tired. You got it? Good. Let's go.
Arda Kursin handling the interpretation, Turkish being spoken
Let's go.
in the Demirezen corner.
Time! Over there. You over there.
Time has been called by referee Dolly.
Time it! Box.
And we resume action. The second half begins. Kownacki 171 of 480 thus far. Demirezen 120 of 433. So a very competitive fight.
You know, since he lost to Ajagba, his last 5 opponents for Demirezen, they only have a record of 98, 50, and 4. It's not great, but we're seeing him in against a more high-quality guy right now and doing very well.
And once again, Adam Kownacki choosing to back up, stay on the ropes, and Demirezen taking advantage of that.
All right, let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farad. How do you have it at the halfway point?
Mo, I have Demirezen up 48-47. I've given him the last 3 rounds, and the way Kownacki's head is getting snapped back, I don't see how you could score the last 3 rounds any differently. One other quick point, credit to referee Eric Dolly, because if Sade Murdoch, whether it was the referee for this fight, he would have stopped this fight 4 rounds ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. As far as, is there a referee in this fight? Because he's letting these guys fight. Love it.
The right hand of Demirezen now is just finding a home on a regular basis.
Demirezen never been down. Kownacki, we talked about the 2 knockdowns, one against Robert Helenius and first time against Damian Clement, where he broke his hand in that round against Clement. That fight required 2 surgeries to fix. Kownacki's also had to overcome biceps injuries suffered while sparring none other than Vladimir Klitschko. So he's had his share of adversity, but it's this crowd that helps gain him strength mentally as we look at show stats.
Yeah, the power punches per round that have landed for each man. Kownacki got off to a great start, but then as Steve Farhood so well documented in his scoring, Demirezen picked up the pace, and a power punch is everything other than a jab, so that you understand that. And the numbers are close, but here's the key. It's round by round how you score a boxing match. So those first 2 rounds without a knockout are probably 10-9 rounds for Kownacki.
30 seconds in the 6th.
You see what's happening here is that Kownacki's fighting a really similar fighter in styles like him. And Demirezen, this is a guy that stands there, he throws a lot of punches, but the difference here is that Demirezen is choosing to throw the straight punches.
Yeah. Right, and Demirezen coming in was a guy that
right hand clipped Kownacki, and at the 10-second warning, they're going for it. Live from New York, it's Showtime Championship Boxing with SNL alum Tracy Morgan in attendance. Some bling around his neck. Funny guy.
Oh yeah, 30 Rock alum as well.
That chain's got to weigh more than me for sure.
Well, Demirezen, we'll see again. The jab and the straight right hand. This is the ticket, and we said it at the beginning. That's where he can do damage. And Kownacki and Demirezen having, at the end of that round, a great exchange with each other. Both men landing, both men throwing, and that's what this fight has been all about. The right hand of Demirezen has been a key weapon for him, and he landed it there again. If you don't like this, you don't like boxing. It's fun.
As simple as that, right?
Yeah. And you know, it's being fought at a good technique level.
The ones who might not like it are the guys trying to keep up with the stats. There are over 1,000 punches already thrown combined.
Can you say carpal tunnel syndrome?
Exactly. I think I have in the past.
Yes, I believe that.
7th round here. And the Polish audience in full throat. Demirezen has his supporters in attendance as well. And again, Demirezen from Turkey, Kownacki born in Poland.
You know, every time Demirezen throws a strong jab in the right hand, more often than not, that right hand gets there.
There's a nice jab to the body, right hand upstairs by Kownacki. Over right hand cuffing, and then the cross by Demirezen.
See, and the thing that Adam Kownacki, he tries to jab as well, and every time he does that, Demirezen has an overhand right for him.
Yeah, good point.
He just barely missed it there, but yeah, Kownacki, you gotta jab to the body.
All right, there he is, jabbing upstairs. But eats another solid right hand to the jaw from Demirezen. And again, Demirezen not known as the biggest puncher, but he is definitely tabulating the scores to the face of Kownacki. Nice left hook curled behind the guard by Demirezen.
Yeah, and one of the trends is that in all these last few rounds, Demirezen has thrown more punches, and we see evidence of what I'm talking about in Steve's unofficial scorecard.
Still has Demirezen up now by 2 points.
Wow, really competitive fight, man.
Yep. And Demirezen
punches thrown.
Continues to land those combinations upstairs.
Watch the backhand.
Good jab from Kownacki again to the body. Right hand to the body as well. Keep investing to that body. Once you jab to the body, come back over with the right hand.
Yep, and you know, the combinations from Kownacki is what he's got to get back to if he's going to get back into this fight.
And the interesting thing for Demirezen coming into the fight, only 14% of his total connects were body shots. He's more of a head under. We have seen that here tonight.
Very good point, Maul, and that's absolutely true.
And there an effective 1-2 upstairs to Kownacki. 30 seconds left in the 7th. It has been a spirited affair. But not just a brawl. There's been technique, as you imagine. And there's a left hook from Kownacki. And on a night where Philadelphia's Danny Garcia returns to headline another event here in his home away from home, Brooklyn. Philadelphia well represented. We just saw one of his sparring partners That being Stephen Fulton, and here, wow, Jaron Boutzenis, another Philadelphia fighter, 29-0, 27 KOs. Can you say the truth? I knew you could. And what is, you know, talk about high risk.
Take a little sip. Spit that out. Hey, man. We got a couple more rounds. We got to work, all right? Don't just sit there in front of them, Adam. You don't need to. You're too good to do that. You don't need to do it. I need your back on your jabs, though. You understand? I need off of your jabs. That slip jab, come right away with the 2-3. It's there. Trust yourself, okay? When you go to the body, both hands. 2 hands to the body. Come on.
Great coaching from Keith Trimble, and Kownacki's corner wants him to not stand in front of Demirezen and start using the jab again. And there he is.
Yeah, he closed the round really well, Kownacki, with the jab.
But
jab
again,
upstairs, jabs down. Yeah, again, you know, he's tired. I mean, he is fatigued. But again, you know, he's gotta keep investing to the body, equal this fight by tiring him out.
Kownacki is 1-0 in 10-round fights, and Demirezen 0-1, the loss to Jabra.
His lone defeat.
Yep, so they've both been the distance. Who will close better? That's the question.
Well, Kownacki trying to follow Trimble's orders, using the jab a little more, getting a little busier here in the eighth, a little more action, but Demirezen standing right in front of him, and Demirezen continues to fire back. And now, to your point,
yeah, there they are in terms of after this round. Some of those are stoppages, of course, you know, we're going to see who has more down the stretch these last 3 rounds.
Watch your feet.
Both men have thrown at it not as big a volume rate in this round, but Kownacki doing good work now.
Not much volume, but you know, there it is from Kownacki, but really well chosen punches from Adam.
And that was a group of combinations. We haven't seen combinations from him.
And Kownacki needs to get busier, according to unofficial score. Steve Farhood, who has Demirezen up by 3 points now, but a decent bounce back round for Kownacki. But again, the size, the pace. Here in round 8, they continue to throw punches, and while maybe not a lot of steam behind them, they are scoring.
Yeah, very good point. You know, there are some more arm punches for both men, but the punches are getting in, and it's a pretty close round. Great start to the round by Kownacki, but Demirezen's done some good work coming back as well.
Yeah, Kownacki starts off really well, what he did in this round, but again, you know, it's the fatigue. He's getting tired, and Demirezen takes advantage of that.
Lead right hand from Kownacki.
And I think they're both a little winded right now.
Absolutely, and when you combine for nearly 1,400 punches here now with just over 30 seconds left in round 8, and Kownacki has not recorded a knockout past the 6th round of his career, and if you go by what our unofficial score, Steve Farhood is indicated he might need one here tonight. Stiff jab from Demirezen. Now, in terms of, again, everything we saw transpire against Elenius and what that can do to a fighter mentally, physically, and otherwise, I mean, Adam Kownacki has proven that, you know, there is still fight left in him.
Watch it. Come on,
Well,
bro. Come on.
the boxing fraternity out. Rolando Romero, that one came at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis in this very building.
We revisit the last round, and we talk about the jab of Demirezen. When he uses it, it's effective. He doubles with it. It's actually surprising there wasn't a right hand behind it. Kownacki did some real nice combination work in parts of that round, working downstairs to the body and then coming upstairs. And here he goes again downstairs, and the left hook. That's all good work by him, and those body shots did land. It was a very competitive and interesting round in the last one.
Kownacki much more active in round 8 compared to round 7, and now the penultimate round, round number 9. My brother Ezio watching in Canada saying these two are his heroes. He says, of course, he reminds the physiques more so, but he is enjoying the action in the Great White North tonight.
Beautiful. Oh, wow.
And to body work from Demirezen.
That's the best body work he's done in this fight, and that's because Kownacki is on the ropes.
Yeah, he's tired. This is the 9th round, and you can see how fatigued he is.
He's delivering those left hooks upstairs. Another left hook. Demirezen takes a step back. Kownacki gets caught with the counter right. There's the jab from Demirezen.
But no matter how tired Adam Kownacki is, I mean, he's always going to throw something. Maybe not much pop, a lot of push, but he comes back with something.
Right uppercut on the inside again, scores for Demirezen.
Interesting dichotomy between body shots and head shots. Kownacki, we knew he was going to be a better body puncher, and he has done that very effectively. Demirezen, not so much, but headshots landed. You see Demirezen with the edge in that.
And he continues to add to his total with Kownacki along the ropes. And I'm sure this is not where his trainer, Keith Trimble, wants him.
Boy, definitely not.
But there's a double jab right hand, and Demirezen kind of allowing him to get some. Oh, there's that right hand, popping the head back again. So Kownacki needs to get off the ropes. Demirezen with the jab. There's that right hand behind the guard, right uppercut combination by Demirezen. So you're right, outpace, slowing. I mean, Kownacki here now, with just over a minute left, has thrown only 26 punches.
And he looks fatigued at this point.
Yeah, but Demirezen doing the right thing. He's starting every combination with the jab.
Yes.
Of course, Captain Obvious and me says, do you blame them?
Yeah, exactly.
Under a minute left in the ninth, but you're right.
Absolutely,
I mean, it's incredible. Two heavyweights here at Barclays Center. Similar physical dimensions, and really in terms of the numbers, in terms of, I mean, all of them out. You look at it again. It's very close, but Demirezen with the advantage.
See, and even though the overall numbers are close, those first 2 rounds were big advantages for Kownacki, and since then, Demirezen's mostly been dominating.
Half minute left in the 9th, and the crowd, the Polish contingent trying to rally Adam Kownacki. Sent his young family to Poland so he could concentrate on resuscitating his career. There's another right hand from Demirezen. The question is there just 3 minutes and change left in Adam Kownacki's career as a top-tier heavyweight? 3 minutes left in this fight.
Demirezen had himself a very good round, and it was an important point because Kownacki had gained a little more momentum coming back in the previous round. And again, the jab setting up the right hand. What did Kownacki do wrong in that round a lot? Languished on the ropes. The uppercut's been a big weapon, and Demirezen throwing combinations in that last round.
You understand? Come on. Adam, this is your fight right here. Dig deep. Breathe. Breathe. Adam, I need you to work. When you get to the inside, you go first. Not him. You. Bend your legs. Let's go work here, kid. Come on, Adam. Let's go. Come on, Adam. Let's go.
As we begin the 10th and final round, I want to revisit the quote that Adam Kownacki shared with us. If I don't win this fight, I lose it all.
And the question will be, because this is a competitive fight, will that statement still be true? But we'll see.
In the 9th round, when he needed it most, Kownacki threw just 59 punches, the fewest by him in any round in this fight. And there's another right hand that lands for Demirezen.
And that was well said out because Adam Kownacki, I mean, he's getting tired, but he's fighting a good fight. I don't see a finished fighter is what I'm trying to say. You know, he's doing what he's asked to. But Demirezen has, you know, response for every punch that he throws.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Steve Farhood in that last round, and that was a centrally important round in this fight.
The jab from Kownacki, but needs to follow it up. Needs to go into desperation mode. Needs to try to find a way to land that money shot while Demirezen content to continue to target the head.
Now, an important reminder, we have no idea how the judges are seeing this. Steve Farhood believes that Demirezen is ahead by enough to just stand up in this 10th round to win, but we don't know that the judges feel that way.
And it is in Brooklyn, where Adam Kownacki, 9-1, the one loss coming against Olympian, one of his back-to-back, the two first losses of his career, trying to salvage it here, but Demirezen wanting to make a name for himself, wanting to Kownacki's name to his resume and make it 6 straight victories since his lone loss.
And blood around the right eye of Kownacki is bothering him, and now Demirezen landing some big right hands.
And Kownacki's been cut in the past, last time against Gerald Washington.
But Kownacki really closing this round. He is trying. He is throwing a lot of punches, and that's because he's got the heart. He is a warrior.
Well, he's throwing punches, but trying to find a way to summon in the right hand. The crowd trying to fuel the fire of desire for Adam Kownacki while Eren Demirezen tries to keep him at bay, but Kownacki trying to close the show.
This has been a good sequence for Kownacki, even though Demirezen's still landing himself.
Oh, and then Demirezen lands that right hand. His money punch all night. 30 seconds left in the fight.
One more good right hand from Demirezen, and this could quite be over.
Yes, I agree.
Demirezen started the sport at the age of 22. A 2016 Olympian for Turkey. Kownacki, Demirezen.
Good job.
Nearly 1,800 punches thrown between them. Demirezen climbing the ropes, thinking he's done enough. While the Polish fans, well, that picture looks a little uneasy, a little concerned, and rightfully so, perhaps, after what was a competitive fight, but a fight in where Demirezen stuck to his game plan, and Al, you pointed it out. Body shots, Kownacki. Head shots, Demirezen.
It was, this man mostly did exactly what he was supposed to. Kownacki had his moments. He started out very well in this fight, and in those middle rounds, though, it was difficult for him.
Yeah, he started off really well with a lot of stamina, a lot of punches thrown by Adam Kownacki. But it was the work rate, obviously, from Demirezen also. He got him tired. Adam Kownacki landed a lot of body works, trying to kind of get him to the same level, get Demirezen out, but he was never able to.
Let's go inside the ropes and look at this fight in microcosm. In the first 2 rounds, Adam Kownacki was dynamite. You know, he got hit with a right hand here and there. Well, this is Demirezen doing some good work. This is a little later in the fight, but Kownacki landing his share of right hands as well. Now, the jab and the straight right hand for Demirezen was the ticket for him. Again, there it is. We saw it over and over again in this fight. When Demirezen used it, he was effective. Kownacki kept throwing combinations, though, and there's the body work from Kownacki that he did so effectively. One of the things that this sequence shows is that both men were landing a variety of punches, which is part of the reason why we said it was fought at a fairly high skill level. Demirezen, at the end of the day, and that was his last big right hand, appeared to have the control. Now, here's the important thing about these numbers. Kownacki did have a slight edge in landed, but those first 2 rounds probably gave him like a 40-punch edge in what was landed. So the rest of the rounds, Demirezen took control, and boxing is a round-by-round scoring affair.
All right, we will have the official decision from Jimmy Lennon in just a moment, but first, here's what's coming up from the Showtime documentary series.
A New York City point guard will give up his girl and his chain before he give up his dribble.
We revolutionized this game with our influence.
New York City playground basketball blew up on a global scale. we were seeing was cultural resilience.
It's New York City at its finest.
Can you sing anything?
From New York, John McEnroe.
I was #1 in the world and such an unbelievable high. Why does it not feel that amazing? I would dwell on tennis matches when I could have been a better dad. You always hear, do whatever it takes to win, at any cost. Is it all worth it?
Back here at Barclays Center, Brooklyn, Adam Kownacki, Eren, and Demirezen have gone the 10-round distance. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to find out who won.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Mark Constantino, scores the bout 96-94. Judges Martha Tremblay and Steve Weisfeld both score the bout 97-93. All three in favor of the winner, the Iceman, Ali Eren Demirezen.
Ali Eren Demirezen has just recorded the biggest win of his career, has won 6 straight fights now, as he sends Adam Kownacki to his 3rd straight loss.
Congrats, bro. You're a warrior. You're a warrior, bro.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
Well, thank you again, Mauro. Here we go. Arda Kurzan will translate for us. Congratulations, Ali Eren, on this fight. How would you describe this victory?
Ali, öncelikle tebrik ediyorlar seni. Bu galibiyeti nasıl yorumluyorsun?
Selamun aleyküm.
Selamun aleyküm.
Say hi.
New York'ta olmaktan ve Amerika'da olmaktan dolayı çok mutlu olduğumu söylemiştim. Amerika'da dövüşmekten büyük bir zevk alıyorum. Burada kalıcı olacağımı söylemiştim. İnşallah Showtime ekranlarında, PBC gecelerinde artık Ali Eren Demirezen'i sıkla göreceksiniz.
I told you before I love fighting in the United States and I love New York. So I told before that you will see me more. And inshallah you will see me more in Showtime and PBC.
Your right hand was very effective, but how did you withstand the onslaught and the volume of punches that Adam throws?
His right hand, right? Sağ elin çok güçlü. Onu gördük diyor. Fakat Adam'ın punchlarına karşı, onun yumruklarına karşı nasıl dayandın diyor.
Adam çok güçlü bir rakip, çok tecrübeli, benden çok tecrübeli. Bu Barclays Center'ın atmosferini daha önce tatmış bir sporcu. Ben ilk defa burada dövüşüyorum. Çok büyük bir organizasyon. Yani dediğim gibi biraz heyecan var. Ama inşallah bir dahaki maçlarda bu heyecanı atacağız.
I'm a bit nervous. He's a definitely strong fighter and I could be much better, but it's my first time here. He fought that before here.
Final question. How big is this for your career?
Bu galibiyet senin kariyerinde ne kadar büyük bir önem taşıyor şu an?
Dünya şampiyonluğu yolunda bir basamak daha atladım.
Another step on the way to world champion.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Ali. Adam, if we can have a moment with you, thank you. Just a moment. Adam, tremendous fight like you always put on. What's your feeling on the decision?
A little rusty. I think he was off first in the exchanges a little bit. Caught a lot of shots, didn't sit down as much. You know, I think the ring rust being out for so long definitely played a part.
You seemed to jump out to a real quick start. Was it simply a matter of not being able to continue at that pace, even though you threw so many punches?
Yeah, I think I was out of the ring since last October. Camp was good, but no, I don't know. I got to rewatch. I did I wasn't first. I think that was a major key. I let him get off first. I was ready to counter him. I wasn't really moving my feet. Wasn't going to run on the punches. Went back to the old me instead of doing like I did in the first 3 rounds, which he said were very good.
Final thought, Adam. It was your own assessment before the fight where you said, if I don't win this fight, I lose it all. Is that mean that you probably won't continue your career?
I have 2 great kids, Kaz and Teddy. I'm going to have a long talk with my wife, see what we want to do. I mean, so many great memories in this building, you know. Definitely don't want to go out like this as a fucking loser. It's a curse, right? But yeah, so definitely I would like to have maybe one more fight and leave my fans with a win, you know.
Well, you've given us all a lot of thrills, and the fans here in Brooklyn and across the world really appreciate your effort. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you so much.